Alright everyone, welcome back to another Watch and Talk here on Automotive Anatomy. Big shout out to all of you who tune into this. I heard from somebody that he was like, yeah, I listen to them when I'm driving. I don't actually watch the video, but I listen to them. And I was like, oh, that's super rad. And I have thought about just doing like random, I guess, bits of podcast pieces like this. I do have an account with Apple Podcasts or something like that. So I don't know, let me know if you guys would be interested, and if so, maybe we can do more like different topics that I can do 15 to 20 minutes. Now that I will be getting a little longer commute in my new gig, I do have that option to be able to record something while I'm on the road. And yes, I'll stay safe. I'm gonna be in the pursuit of not chipping out, right? I'm gonna be paying a little bit more to catch some toll roads, or for those that may not know, toll roads are lanes that you have to pay to I guess move faster. You don't have to sit on traffic, and so that's part of the investing in myself. And so it cuts my commute by at least 15 minutes, and it doesn't give me stress to be in traffic. And so it will definitely give me more time to be able to do podcasts like this, if that is something that you guys may be interested in. And if it is something that I'm interested, then I'll pursue it. Even if you guys are not interested, I'm still gonna do it. But it helps to get your feedback. I definitely I appreciate you guys' feedback. And so today's topic, I was going on my walk, and there's a guy that I follow, Patrick Bet-David. I don't want to agree 100% with his views on the diverse set of things, and politically, money, personally, I don't know, maybe sports, but I find that like I told you guys in the past, I find that it's important to learn from people that you may disagree on certain things. There's always something to learn. And just randomly, I was walking with Chubbs as my wife was running her, I think, 3-mile run this morning. He just the algorithm brought me to a video about what it is to go against Goliath, and I've discussed this before in some other Watch and Talk. By the way, I do apologize, I just kept the camera there so you guys can see how the dirtiness comes out of the wheel very easily. Same thing, I'm using the Grits Garage cleaning thing, so that's what I'm using. And so I thought about the Goliath of the automotive world, and there's a few channels that I can definitely think of. The Hoonigans, you got Daily Driven Exotics, I think those are like the top tier that I can think of. And then you have like the individual ones like TJ Hunt, Adam LZ, and of course hundreds and thousands of other ones that I'm not familiar with and I don't know, that they bring a lot of value to you guys. And I think that as I was walking, I had a list. I still have the list of people that I kept up with their channel, and to see how fast they were growing, and to compare myself percentage wise, because obviously number wise they'll beat me, but 10% of $100 is 10% different than $1 million, but it's still 10%, right? And so that's kind of the idea that I was trying to measure myself. And again, that was more at the beginning of the channel. I haven't done that in a long time. I probably will do it after this, just to see how I kind of been growing. You guys know that the numbers are a plus, but it's not definitely or driver. If it was a driver, like I mentioned in some previous Watch and Talks, or thumbnails or titles and videos will be really different. But we still want to continue with the grassroots. We still want to continue with the everyday builders. No, I cannot interview a EF every single time. I know Rob from Canada would love that, but no, I can't, Rob. We have to switch it up. We have to, I'm interested in some Toyota. I'm interested in some Saturns, something like that, and I'm trying to get something different, except that Honda people have been the most welcoming, and I'm so appreciative of that, right? But as I was listening to this podcast about going against the Goliath, or the big one in your company, and how you can, I guess, in a way compete, I like to say that I'm competing against myself, but I'll be honest with you guys, there is a sense of driver, I guess you would say, or energy driven, to be able to grow and then kind of put myself next to some people that were they have been there before or after me. Is it healthy? I don't know. You guys get to decide that. For me, I understand that to a certain extent it is healthy, to a certain extent it's not healthy. I think it's just the way you depend, the way you, I guess, quote unquote, put your your success, you define your success. To me, it's not, the numbers is not the final destination, because if it is, then I'm never going to be happy. Those numbers will continue to grow and grow, and so at the end of the day, it's just not worth it. However, what it does allow me to do is to continue to track the process, right? We hit 43,000 subscribers, and I'm super stoked. Like I said, it's not, I don't want it to come off as I don't care. Because I think, honestly, I was more excited for the first 100 subscribers and then the 43,000 that came after. And I think that's just because I was paying more attention. It was new. It was like, man, like, to just get the sense that 100 people out there, there's chubs, 100 people out there decided to subscribe. And now, about 1,000 of you guys tune into these Washing Talks. And I don't know why you do, but I appreciate you being here. And it's funny because if a Washing Talk gets 1,000 views, to me, it's almost like more exciting that somebody took the time to watch this video than to say like a 10,000 view Civic EK hatch. I don't know. I feel like this is more of an intimate type of thing, and the people that are really tuning into this, they're really, I don't know, appreciative of what I'm doing or what I'm trying to do. Or they're really getting some value. At least I like to think that. I would hope that, there's not one person here who's just tuning in because he or she dislikes everything I say, nor that he or she agrees with everything I say. That you guys have to disagree with some of my views, and that's okay. I think that's the way you have a healthy, community, a healthy relationship with people. And so I can't remember why I was wearing gloves, but I'm wearing gloves. But yeah, I think that's the reason why I really appreciate the people that tune into these Washing Talks, because they're, I've shared so many different stories that are very personal to me. And so I know for a fact that when I go to car meets, there's somebody out there who knows this, this story about me. And I'm obviously letting you guys know, like, it's a, I guess I consider a safe platform for me to be able to share some of my, feelings and thought process and things like that. And so my buddy Gabe from Rival Machine, his slogan is, "You are your only rival." Yeah, you are your only rival. And I kind of half agree with that. I think that, yes, you should be comparing yourself. Am I better than I was yesterday? I get that. But at the same time, I feel like whether we want to admit it or not, there's a little bit of us that is competing against somebody else, that or metrics are being compared to somebody else. I'll give you guys an example. Let me see if I can find them. I'll find my little sticky note. I started doing this sticky note, and I kept looking at like subscriber count from people that had already been in the automotive world. And again, it's just a way for me to kind of push myself. Let me see if I can find it. I do apologize. I know there's a background noise. That's the AC here in Cali. Started getting a little bit hot, so we got an AC, so it's in the background. So I do apologize if there's like extra background noise. I'm trying to use the GoPro microphone, so you guys get a better and clear sound. Well, I cannot find my little sticky notes. I had them. They're gonna come up when I don't need them. Watch. Nope. Okay, I don't have them. They're somewhere in there, but I'll tell you guys the channels that at least at the top of my head I remember that I was keeping track of. Number one was Honda Vlogs, and I did Honda Vlogs number one because I was just so like amazed. I think he shared my channel when he had like 8,000 subscribers, and I was like losing my mind. I was like, whoa, that's so cool that he took the time to show my channel. He took the time to watch it. He took the time, to share it. Very unselfish of him, And then I kept track on how many subscribers he had. Honda Vlogs was number one. I don't remember the exact order of these next ones, but I know at least 3 of them. The other one was Young Static Dana. Dana is cool just because I really feel like he's super underrated. If some of you guys don't know who Dana is, he runs a YouTube channel called Young Static. and I always get confused between his YouTube channel and his username. Yeah, on Instagram he's FN Static, FN Static, but Young Static is his YouTube channel, and he is super underrated. He's been making videos for like 10 plus years now, and the stuff that he does is very complicated, and so I always felt that he was underrated, and so I just kind of want to keep track on his. The other one's Sticky Diljo, The Chronicles. Another guy that throws me off as very underrated. I feel like the quality of work that he does, his videos, they're crisp, they're very out of the box, they're creative. His photography is amazing, so I really like his videos. I skip through some of the parts when they're just talking or they're just eating and whatever. I know some of you guys may love that, and so that's cool. And at the end of the day, it's his channel, he can do whatever he wants, but I feel like he's still underrated. I don't know, I think he has like 70,000 subscribers now. I don't know, to be honest with you, but I used to keep tabs on those. And then the other one, it was Young Statics, Chronicles. Oh man, I'm forgetting the other one. I just had it at the top of my head. Tommy, LA Tommy Law from Tommy Law from San Diego. He when he was really heavily involved, he had his EK hatch, and I had the pleasure to be able to interview him when we kind of started the channel, thanks to Lee with his Integra. He was kind enough to introduce us, and so obviously Tommy took some time off. He decided to go on a different career path. Now he's back on YouTube with the TSX. I still watch his videos. I really enjoy them, and I think that he got burned out because he was doing so much work, himself, and recording and editing. It gets very tiring, and he was working at Honda, if I'm not mistaken, and now he took a whole different career path. I think he's a software engineer or something like that. Not disclosing anything personal. All that I'm saying is the things that he posted, okay? Before you guys think like, wow, Gus, come on, that's personal. No, he posted all those videos. It's public record, as I like to say. And so I think the other one was Honda Street Garage or Honda Garage Builds. One of those, I can't remember, because I know there's two different channels. It might be Honda Garage Builds. I think some gentleman from Texas has a whole bunch of EFs. He's been kicking butt. I love his videos, and so I think those were the main channels that I was keeping up on. Now, why was I keeping on track on them? To me, it was a way for me to keep up. What do I mean by that? I mean, if they were growing at 10% every 6 months that I was making the count, and I'm not growing at 10%, I kind of talk to myself in the sense of, okay, what can you do? What can you improve? Are you getting lazier on the editing? Are you not including enough? At first, it's funny because I learned to listen to you guys. At first I was like, I'm just gonna do my videos like this, it doesn't matter. But then when you guys started leaving comments like, hey, can you turn on the car, I want to hear it. Hey, can you do rollers? Hey, can you do a shotgun drive? What I called it stops was when you guys requested drone shots. I was like, no, definitely no drone shots. And guess what? Now I'm kind of considering them. I'm like, oh, maybe I should go get a drone, because I know that you guys are coming from a good place. I know that you guys are saying, guys, this is going to improve your videos. This is going to improve the experience of us learning about this car. However, for me, the challenge is the opposite. We're dealing with heavy modified cars. And as much as I love Cali, as you guys know, yes, there's stuff that I disagree with it. And the way they treat automotive enthusiasts here is a little bit different than in some other places. So no, I don't feel as comfortable just driving around back and forth. I know, major magazines do that. I know major channels do that. I just don't feel comfortable doing that. And I don't want to put the builders on that risk that they get pulled over on my watch. Can it happen? Of course, but I'm trying to decrease the chances as much as possible. So, that's why I tend to always meet them where they, somewhat 1-2 cities over from where they live, location where, they're not, keeping the car just for safety. And obviously, we don't want certain, departments to know about a car that's modified. And so I would love drone shots, don't get me wrong. I would love to be able to add that crisp because I know it would improve to your experience. The microphone. I remember when you guys were like, you guys need a microphone, and I was just like, man, come on. But I think I was having that, and to this day I still have that problem, and that's kind of the conversation that I'm having with myself, reinvesting into the business. You know, as much as I want to say this is not a business, it kind of is, right? It's a transaction. I'm providing value to you guys. I'm providing a video to a builder, and the builder's providing me content. You know, as much as I'm not a big fan of that word, but that's what it is. It's an experience, and so I'm trying to capture it. And so it's the service from my end to not do the best possible job for the builder. I mean, I put myself in their situation, and I'm thinking, well, how would you want the video to come out? You want the audio to be crisp, you want the image to be crisp. So, you know, after doing all those kind of, you know, things, I've been adding better mics. I know you guys want the Wi-Fi ones, the Bluetooth ones. Look, I would love those too, but the problem, like I mentioned before, if the battery dies halfway through it, I don't know. Super ironic. As soon as I say, you know, that the battery might die, the GoPro died. But at least I can tell that the GoPro died, and so I know that the microphone's no longer working. So kind of proving my point. So now I'm recording off the DSLR, the Sony 6400. And speaking on improving our equipment, I have been thinking about getting a different lens. This lens is good, but not that I'm saying that I'm a photographer, because I'm not. But there's times that I look at some photography from other people and I'm like, damn, like that looks so nice. And then when I ask them, they tell me where's the lenses. You know, you gotta improve, or you gotta upgrade your lenses, and so that's what gives it the sharp, crisp look that you're wanting. And just the 50 mil that comes with the camera, it's good, but it's not great. And so I'm like, okay. So those are some of the Goliaths that I've been kind of like, you know, looking and kind of setting myself to continue to compete with myself, compete with them. Ironically, they're probably not even competing with me, you know, and that's fun. That's okay. I think that Gary Vee, if you guys know who Gary Vee is, he's an entrepreneur. He says a lot of things, but one of the things that he always talks about is about enjoying the process, enjoying when things are not going well, enjoy when people are not taking you seriously. Like, you know, for instance, right now, I'm washing my car in an apartment complex. There's so many things that I wish it was different. You know, there was a thunderstorm here in California maybe like 2 days ago, and it was raining. It sounded very, very nicely. And one of the things that I saw Obsessed Garage YouTube channel, when he was washing the car when it was raining, and it was one of the coolest things just for him to be washing the car. It was so therapeutic, so calming. He had nowhere to be. It was raining in the background, and he was washing his car. That's something that I wish I could do. Obviously, I can't. I can't just put a tent right here in my parking space. You know, and that's okay. You know, that's part of the progress. That's part of one day I'm gonna look back at these videos and think like, damn, I was washing my car in the alley and you guys were still tuning in. And so that's super cool. You know, for me at least to have it in the back of my head. So that's kind of the idea, that I want to keep pushing myself. I use them as motivators. I personally don't get mad if they get a lot more followers, because it's not taking away from me. What it does say that when somebody continues to grow, they're providing value to that individual. There's absolutely no one's gonna question that negativity, drugs, you know, sexuality, political, you know, topics, religious topics are gonna bring more eyes. People love negativity. People love problems. People love to disagree. People love to get triggered. And the same thing in the car world. People love burnouts. People love, you know, shredding. Like that brings more eyes. That's just not something that I want to continue building the platform in, and that's okay. other channels will, and they're going to continue to grow at a speed that, you know, we're not. But in a way, it's okay for me to understand that we're growing. You know, some of you guys have been watching this, you know, channel for 4 years now. You guys have grown with me for 4 years. You guys have seen the different life changes that I've gone through, and you guys will continue to see if you guys continue, you know, follow the journey, or you find that this channel continues to bring value to your life. What the next 4 years brings, you know, I hope that's health. I hope it's safety. I hope is success for everyone. And obviously we know that success is very subjective, and so for me, I will continue to be successful. The channel has been successful, it's successful, and the numbers just continues to kind of like, I guess, confirm that, right? We have a metrics. If we didn't have a metrics, it would be difficult to track what we've been doing for the last 4 years. So I understand the importance of having those numbers there, and that's the reason why I used to kind of continue to keep a metric on what everybody else is doing. Now, as I'm getting older and the channel keeps getting better, or we're busy with different stuff, I know for a fact that the minute that you spend watching somebody else, it's a minute that you're taking away from you. And what I mean by that is, if you're looking at them in a negative way, I love to watch Stickadiljo's videos, Tommy's, Dana's, Honda Vlogs hasn't uploaded over a year and a half, but all those channels, I get immense value out of them. So I'm watching them, and I'm not watching them like hating or being upset that they're getting more views, or that, you know, they get to do certain things, or they get to build certain cars. I'm looking at it from like, man, this is what's possible out there. You know, when I see the Hoonigans get 1 million views on certain videos, I'm like, damn, that's what's possible out there. And I don't intend to change my style so much to be able to get those views, but at least at the fact that there are that niche market out there for the stuff that we do. We know that YouTube is controlled by little kids, you know, the opening up toys, those destroy the world. And then, you know, Mr. Beast with his crazy videos that he puts, you know, that's cool. I don't really watch none of those videos. I think Mr. Beast's videos, I've only watched like 1 or 2, and I really, you know, it's not for me. But obviously it is for 20-30 million people that watch those, because he's bringing value to them. And I don't feel like, man, I'm so upset that I don't get those views. I don't. I am in a good mindset, at least right now, that I don't feel like, first of all, nobody owes me anything, and so that's something important, that if I get 2 views or I get 1,000 views, I'm not gonna lie, that 1,000 views just looks better. Look at Chubbs. He's getting ready to dry the tires. 1,000 views does look better. It does feel better than 2 views, right? Obviously, I'm not gonna deny that. But at the same time, that shouldn't determine how, quote unquote, happy or successful I feel on that video. For me, being able to connect with different people outside of the video seems to be like the most successful and fun part about it. I still have conversations with many people that I've interviewed on the channel. There's people that I go out to double dates with. You know, we went out with Raul and my buddy Rob on a double date, or triple date, however you say it, to have wine. And those are the moments that I cherish the most, even more than when we first met to have an interview about their cars. That was a cool experience in itself, but now what has grown from that, there's no numbers on YouTube that can, you know, put a price on that. There's no numbers that could say, oh wow, this is more important than that experience. And so I think that's what it is. You know, when I've met a few of you guys from Canada, there's been 2 different occasions with 2 people. One was a family, the other one was a gentleman from Canada that came down to Cali, and we were able to connect. We were able to meet because, you know, you guys sent me a message and I was able to go to the car meet. That's the moment that I'm like, this is wild. Somebody all the way from Canada recognized me, recognized the channel, and, you know, thank you for the love. Now you guys know that I'm not that person that wants to get recognized, but at the same time, it's pretty cool that, I mean, I can go down the city, you know, down the street from my city, and nobody knows who I am or what I'm trying to build on the channel, but somebody in a whole different continent does. You know, someone in Europe knows about the channel, which is wild. But yeah, I mean, look, whoever your Goliath is, for whatever reason, use it in a positive, healthy way. remember, you do have to compete with yourself and only yourself. That's ultimately the person that matters the most. And let's continue on working on being happy. That's ultimately the goal. So thank you guys so much for the love and the support. Catch you guys later.